welcome back to our Udemy series on how to get free radio to drive your business. This is video 7-2, 11 more of our secret tips on how to get radio promotion. So we're at point number 12 now, and I want to talk about open radio shows. This is a new thing that's out there. It's a really great opportunity for you to get on the air. These are open call-in shows where they don't have scheduled guests. There's no scheduled topics. The entire show is a call-in show. You'll see these a lot in the weekends as stations are trying to build their listenership. They've discovered that this is a really good tool, a really good way for them to have people start interacting with the station. These entirely call-in focused shows. What you do on these is call in and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you about whatever my topic is. 90% of the time, the host is just going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to ramble off your point. So one of the easy, free ways to get on a show is just to call these open guest shows and just simply be a guest right then from your own home. I've done this about 5 or 6 times. It's worked out really well. The thing that's interesting is that these shows are popping up more and more in the major cities because they're just so cheap to produce. You'll almost always find that the host is really just one of the producers who's just there to operate the board and operate the telephones. Good way, you get some good exposure, totally free. Let's move on to point number 13 now. And this is one of the things that we're going to do to help improve our best practices. From now on, every time you're on the radio, you're going to record it. You're going to record your radio calls. I have an iPhone 5, and I bought a little cord, it's about $20, that allows my iPhone to attach directly to the computer so I can record every call that I make. I highly recommend this. It's a fantastic way for you to build your expertise, to practice, and to do the most unpleasant thing you're ever going to have the experience of doing. Listening to your entire interview back. I can't tell you how important this is for you to improve your skill set. It's not a pleasant thing to do because you'll hear every mistake that you make. You'll hear mistakes that no one else heard, but that's the way you improve. So point number 13, I want you to start recording your calls, recording your interviews. It will make you a better guest. Now, point number 14, how to actually talk to someone if you get them on the phone. Right, our goal is to get these hosts or producers on the phone. You want to call them up, call the station and get them on the phone. Remember, if they can hear you, if they can hear your enthusiasm, you're much more likely to be on the show. However, what do you want to do? How do you want to have that call so it doesn't offend the producer? The first words out of your mouth should be this. Hi, I'm Jim. I'm a potential guest. Do you have 30 seconds for me to talk to you? You have got to let them know that you understand how busy they are, how incredibly, conscious of your time that you're going to be, of their time. You really want to work hard to endear yourself to this person, and the way to do that is to be polite from the very beginning. Sir, do you have 30 seconds to hear me out? After that, so point number 15, what to do if they say no. About half the time they will say no. No, I don't have time. Then very quickly say, is there a good time for me to call? So let them understand that you acknowledge that they're too busy and say, can I call back in the afternoon? Is there a good time for me to call? And then get off the phone just as fast as you can. Point number 16, if they say yes, and again about 50% of the time they will, you should then launch into your 30-second prepared, memorized, but not read pitch. You can't read it. If you go like, I would love to be on your show. I will be a great guest. You're never going to get on the show. You want to immediately, yes, I have 30 seconds. Great, I'd love to tell you about what I could do for your show. I've listened to several of your interviews. I think your host is fantastic. I would love to come on the show to talk about X, Y, Z. I will discuss this, this, and this. I have some pre-formed questions to help you along the way. Would you be interested? Take 30 seconds to present yourself as a fantastic guest and let that enthusiasm, let your passion for your topic shine through the call. Number 17, at the end of the call, you want to get a time. So don't just, have a call and say, that was great. The point of the call is to get a scheduled slot on the air. So at point number 17, your last question, your last comment should be, is there a time where I can get scheduled to be on your show? Ask explicitly for the slot. If they don't give it to you then, you probably aren't going to get it. Take the time while you've got them on the phone to actually get them to commit to when you will be appearing on the show. Number 18, if you leave a voice message, and again, lots of times you're just not going to get the person you want, you're going to have to leave a voice message. It's important that it follow this format. Hi, my name is Jim Beach. My telephone number is blank. I would like to be on your show to talk about the following things. My name is Jim Beach, and here's my telephone number. You have got to give your name, telephone number, and email address if you're going to give that twice. Once at the beginning, once at the end. This is a formula. This is the way they expect it to be done. You can't do it another way. If you're talking to a producer, this is the way you talk to them. Name, telephone number, point, name, telephone number. It's a formula. You got to do it that way. Number 19, your script, your pitch has got to be memorized perfect. It should flow out of your mouth with no preparation. What do you do for a living? Blah, 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 blah. It should be that easy. If it takes you a second to think about it, you're not ready to be on the radio yet. So point number 19, you should memorize your speech, practice it, and it should be perfect. And about 99% the same every time. You know, these call script people, the people you get on these call centers, they work on a word-for-word script because they've tested it. They know that if they change one word, sales go down 2%. You're going to eventually get a perfect pitch, one that you realize gets you more interviews. Once you've found it, don't deviate. Memorize it, get it word for word the same. It will be perfect. Point number 2, despite having said all of that, point number 20, despite having said all of that, your pitch is going to change over time, right? So I've had a good pitch now for about a year. However, I get tired of it. I know I'm pitching the same people again. I change it ever so slightly over time. And one of the things I do is if I get a big interview, I will incorporate that into my new pitch. Say, hey, I was just on this show, and therefore I'm a good guest. So even though I'm a fanatic about memorizing my pitch and having it perfect, I am going to massage it and tweak it over time, hopefully making it 1% better every month until it's just fantastic and it gets you on any show. Point number 21, practice, practice, practice aloud and into your telephone. All right, I want you to practice this interview 10 times. Remember that list of questions that I had you make several videos ago? Give that to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, someone at the office, your vice president, and say, interview me, ask me these questions, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again and again, and then switch to a new person and do it again. That's how you're going to have a great interview the first time you get one. Let's not mess it up. Let's make sure we do a good job. Point 22, I'm going to do my small shows first. I'm not going to try to get on an A show in the beginning. If I've never done radio before, I want to do it 10, 15 times with small market shows, the C-level shows, before I try to do a B or an A-level show. Let's get really good at it first. And the way we do that is practice and then get it out there and do it for real with the small shows. All right, in the next video, I'm going to give you 11 more tips. I'll be back with video number 3 in just a minute.